In those hot last days of the spring of 1910, on the spacious, elevated grounds of Bella Vista Castle in Paterson, New Jersey, a motion picture was being made. The company was Biograph. The director was David W. Griffith. The title was The Call to Arms. The plot took place in medieval times and centered about a lost jewel beyond price. For the setting of a medieval castle, what better than this Bella Vista, popularly called Lambert's Castle after its builder, the local silk baron Cathalina Lambert. The rolling lawn, with its groomed, medieval-appearing oaks and beeches, commanded a hazy view of New York City, less than 15 miles eastward of the crowded rooftops of Paterson, lying sullenly snared within the lowland loop of the Passaic River. From this height, the human eye could discern the strip of brick mills clustering about the falls and its 3 mill races designed by Pierre L'Enfant, the dour but majestic brownstone spire of Father William Dean McNulty's Cathedral of St. John the Baptist, the white wedding cake tower of City Hall, the fantastical varicolored Flemish facade of the post office, and the ribbed dome, not 10 years old, of the Passaic County Courthouse, upon whose columned cupola a giant gesturing woman persistently kept her balance. The distant spires of New York City were a photogenic marvel, their apparently weightless suspension within the mists of summer heat belying the mass of human suffering and striving their enchanted profile rested upon. But the motion picture camera was aligned to exclude any such modern view. The cameraman waited impatiently in the muggy, coal-gas-poisoned New Jersey sunshine, fearful that a random cloud might suddenly throw his aperture setting out of adjustment. A faint scent of oil arose from the encased fine gears and sprockets. It was 2 in the afternoon, and the heat was at its peak. In spite of it, the actors, Max Sennett and Del Henderson, had donned metal armor, and the star of the film, little Mary Pickford, sweltered in the tights, velvet cape, and heavy brocaded tunic of a page. She was to mount a horse and gallop with a supposedly momentous message across the wide castle lawn, whose every hard green blade reflected back colorless sunlight. The horse's great barrel of a body, as several men in overalls helped Miss Pickford up into the saddle, felt hot and emitted a stench of sweat and wet horsehair. The sun-baked leather of the saddle scorched her buttocks and thighs, and the tousled hair of her steed's mane seemed to lead her consciousness invitingly down toward the roots of a shady tangle. The petite star was but 17. The hotel accommodations in jam-packed, clattering Paterson had not conduced to an easy night of sleep. She felt distinctly less than herself. However, it was not until the close-up — Griffith was mad for this new artistic toy of his, the facial close-up — that she lost consciousness. The page was, for the third take, excitedly delivering the message whose exact words would be spelled out on the screen in white on black, ornately framed: "Sire, the king bids the troops to attack the Saracen infidels." 2 grips in shirt sleeves were holding large foil reflectors to bring further light to play on her fine young features, whose natural pallor was enhanced with powder. In this intensified heat, a darkness welled up at the back of her brain, and she fainted. The sweet, moist scent of June grass and the ammonia of smelling salts seemed to rush simultaneously to her nostrils. When she came to, Mr. Griffith, though ever the correct Kentucky gentleman, was furious, as not only had she wasted a half-hour of daylight — this was Monday, and the schedule committed him to finishing the film by Friday — but she had besmirched with grass stains her expensive tunic of brocaded white silk.